to have a quick panel discussion. The panel is going to talk about why budgets fail. Okay, and I'm going to take them through a series of questions which will answer a lot of your questions as well. And while that discussion is happening, if you have any questions, please make a note of those questions. We'll try and take maximum amount of questions for all of you. The panel is going to be consisting of 3 people. One who can help you to understand the government schemes, the loans that are available, the subsidies that are there, the capex investments and the kind of investments that you intend to do. What is the government support in that? What are the audit structures that we'll have to sit and make? It will also help you to understand, the second speaker will help you to understand the budget template, if there's any question regarding to budget template. And third will help you understand the conceptual understanding of operational excellence. Now, most of the time, the word, it is not excellent, it is excellence, which means it's a pursuit of doing certain things in the right fashion. So can I request my panel to come here? Shri Shrikant Pangarkar ji. Can we have a round of applause for him, please? Mr. Jayant Pimpalgaonkar and Mr. Prakash Sharma. All 3 of you, can I request you to be on the stage? You have met Jayant ji and you've met Prakash in your pre-Aarmabh sessions. We can have a good music. They are all young. Bhai, music chada de yaar, log aaye. There's a piece of information that probably I skipped. We only have 2 breaks. Okay, one is the lunch and the next break is when we go out. Okay, so if you want to go to washrooms, you want to have a cup of tea, all of that, this is a running show. So we're not going to stop. Okay, because we're 120 people in the room. It'll be very difficult to manage the tea, tea snacks and all of that. If you want to grab a tea, you can pick up a tea, come back. You want to go to a washroom, come back. But tend not to miss and do it in the breaks of 2 sessions that happen. Okay, so I skipped that admin information. So along with me right now, we have 3 professionals. As now, I think everybody knows that Shrikant sir started working when I was not born. And according to Akshay, I was not even conceptualized. Right? So our job today is to ask him questions about what do you actually mean by operational excellence? What is the concept understanding of operational excellence? Because most of us feel SOP likhna, most of us feel कि वो structure में डाल देना, most of us feel that वो cost save करना. So sir, the questions will be aligned to that or more. Prakash bhai, the questions will be aligned to the budget part of it, the number part of it, to you. And Jayanji, the questions will align to the different government schemes. I'll give a little brief about the participants as well. We have project businesses, typically capex businesses also. We have few are into marketing businesses. So I think there are 2 players in marketing. We have food processing, we have chemical equipment plants, we have pharma plants, we have tools and dies here. So engineering, heavy engineering, light engineering, and certain service businesses. We also have retail. We have 3 retail businesses which have grown with us as well. So the questions are going to be revolving around these industries. Okay. So let me start with the youngest member on this panel, Shrikant sir. According to you, can you conceptualize and let us know what is operational excellence? I mean, people have a lot of myth about it. So could you please guide us?
See, according to me, everything is an operation. Getting sales also is an operation because you start from the customer end and reach the order stage. And there are various operations you do, like Akshay must have told you about the Spanko funnel. Each one of them is an operation, and anything which is an operation can be subjected to excellence. And what is excellence? You do the best at any point in time. That doesn't mean that excellence stops at any particular moment. You can always do better, as he showed to us so many methods for using AI and the new tools to come up with better data. So the same thing happens in each stage. See, whether if you are in manufacturing, you have several operations starting from procurement, processing, quality, and then finally logistics and delivery. And each one of them can be improved every day if you think about it. So operational excellence is a continuous activity of improving each bit of the process, total process. So you break the process into various operations and keep improving them. Finally, at any particular time, you will have the best mix as on today. But that doesn't mean it is the best mix tomorrow, because you will find something better. The main thing is people must develop a mindset to improve, be curious, and be dissatisfied. If you are dissatisfied with the status quo or the current stage, you will always strive to go towards operational excellence. And the operational excellence will differ from company to company, business to business, person to person, and situation to situation. So it's a vast subject, and the actual application can take place when you study the current situation, the current person, the current business, and the current problem. This is, in short, what is operational excellence.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Jayanji, question to you. When it comes to capital investment in terms of land, say I want to now expand my factory, or I want to set up new premises, what are the things that government is focusing? Are there any schemes for MSMEs, and what are those things? Yeah.
Yeah, good morning all. The question what Yogesh sir has asked is really most crucial. And even today in my area of work, I observe that many people, those who are into industry, those who are running their units, even they are not aware of that. For manufacturing sector, majorly the benefits of government are majorly for manufacturing sector as well as for service sector. But for when we talk about manufacturing, so there is a package scheme of incentive which is prominently there. Many industries must have taken use of that. But what government has done is the scheme, the incentive scheme which is in operation is 2019 to 2024, which will end on 31st March 24, and surely new scheme will definitely come. The first time it came in 2013 to 19. So under this, for whenever any manufacturing industry, if they are willing to go for a purchase of land, so they will get a number of benefits from the government, like the stamp duty, which is required whenever a piece of land, an industrial any land is purchased. That time stamp duty is required to be paid. There is a complete exemption of that stamp duty. But definitely that is benefits are different. There are parameters. The benefits are given category wise, like there are zones. Say in Pune, there's an industrial zone, majorly is a developed zone, which is A zone. So A, B, C, D, government has done CD and D plus, D and D plus. So like if you talk about Vidarbha, it is a D plus zone. So there, if suppose 100 rupees is invested in a project, so government is giving back to a new project almost 80 rupees back in different forms of benefits, like the stamp duty for land purchase, stamp duty for the loan when taken in from a bank, from any banker. The industry person, one who is owning the company, has to pay the stamp duty on the loan amount. That even get exempted for the first time. Even beyond that, the power tariff, there is an exemption. the 1 rupee per unit or 0.5, that there are certain sub clauses, but overall I'm telling you, there are n number of benefits. Then electricity duty is totally exempted. Okay, then interest subsidy is there. Suppose a new manufacturing unit is brought in a D or underdeveloped zone area, so there even there is an income tax holiday also is given by the government for initial period of time. Also, the provident fund of the employer contribution for provident fund is also taken care by government for initial period of 3 years. So, what I mean to say, then there is an interest subsidy. So, category wise, zone A, B, C, D, and D government has done. And like in Pune, there is a majorly is A zone. So, for any new manufacturing unit which is going for a purchase of land or something, so there is no direct benefit. But yes, under 4.8 point of package scheme of incentive, if you read that incentive scheme currently which is prevailing, so 4.8 clause is applicable to the units which are prevailing in zone A, like in Pune, wherein if suppose existing unit is going for any expansion, so in that case they will get the benefit of maximum. If suppose some investment is done in capital, say building or machinery, so then there is a 5% of the capital investment done. There is a maximum cap of 25 lakhs rupees. So this way, n number of benefits are given by the government. So if near Pune, if there is a D or C zone, so there, suppose company choose the location of the plant. So there definitely there is a exemption of stamp duty which is given for procurement of purchase of land as well as
other machineries. Yeah. Okay. Prakash sir, over to you now. Let us quickly look at our budgeting exercise. Have you normalized the template? Have you, when you build a template, any business can have all the details and whatever is required in the business. How have you built that? What was the thought process?
Good afternoon.
It's working. Yeah, it's working.
We have last 2-3 years experience guiding us like.
So,
hello.
Is it working? No, it's not working. Okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So based on our experience of the last 2-3 years RM events and based on the feedback what received from the participants and the finance experts in earlier years, so we have done a complete revamping. Actually, this is a new template done from scratch. The idea behind this is, okay, it should be simple to understand, simple to fill up. It should not be, okay, people should get scared looking at the template itself. Arey, kaun karega, kaise hoga? So they should not get a feeling. And during our pre-budget session also, we have tried to explain to all the participants, like in case somebody is from service industry, somebody's project, so how they can use the template. It can cater to requirement of all the businesses. Maybe somewhere, maybe we have to do some tweaking, but otherwise it can take care of all the businesses.
Okay, fantastic. So I think after this panel, S.V. Rao sir and Prakash bhai will sit and explain all of you the template again, so that there is no query left on what to fill where. Okay, so it will be easy once this panel finishes. So coming to you, majorly operational excellence as a subject. Of course, it's a management subject, but in the kind of projects that you're doing, in the kind of consulting that you're doing, where do you find the biggest risk or biggest failure point?
See, in most of the cases,
It's working.
see, I am working with 4 companies who are into projects business. And the major pitfall in this business is management of time for each activity. Because each day lost is basically a loss to the company in terms of money. Sometimes it is seen, sometimes it is not seen, but ultimately felt. So managing and planning the project with respect to time is most important. And for that, the prime requirement is detailed planning. So you must have a complete template or a checklist of all activities which need to be done to complete the project. The more time you spend in planning for details, the less problems you will have in implementing or executing the project. Similarly, if you have planned the project properly and you have regular reviews, then the chances of not meeting the deadline are less. In spite of all the reviews and good planning, some situations unforeseen will arise. But if you review regularly, those situations can be corrected by remedial actions. So the most required things for a profitable project business is number one, detailed planning, number two, time management, and third is regular reviews and corrective action. If you do that, the chances of success are very good. The mass production industries are slightly easier to handle because these are repetitive activities and repetitive products. So there, if you have done well yesterday, it is likely that you will do well today also. But for project management, every day is a new day. Every day is a new problem, and every day you require a new solution. This is the crux of any operations management, and you can keep on improving the methods of planning or methods of reviews. If you do that, your results will improve over time. This is my takeout from whatever experience I have got with my own as well as the clients' businesses.
Thank you very much, sir. Prakash bhai, there's a question for you that in project businesses only, लोग कहते हैं कि सर हमारा पैसा टाइम पे नहीं आता, तो हम पैसा टाइम पे दे नहीं पाते. Okay, what is this? Is this a practice? Is this the right practice? First, is it a practice? Second, is it a right practice? And how do project businesses improve on their cash flows on this?
It does happen. It's not a practice, but so many project-based companies experience this issue, like cash flow situations or the cash flow challenges they are facing. As Shrikant sir already explained, what is required for a project management company. So what time many times we get excited. Okay, 100 crore ka order mil gaya, 200 crore ka order mil gaya, without planning for the cash part of it. Like how we'll be doing the procurement, what will be the payment terms with the vendors, what will be the payment terms with the customer. So maybe you are committing to the vendors, but you don't have the funds coming to you, and you are not able to keep your commitments. So we have to be very careful while accepting any orders and do a thorough planning on the cash flow management also. When exactly you need the funds, what will be the source of the funds. So that is what is very important, and like to manage the project and ensure that there are no cost overruns or one more thing, to keep something for contingency. Any project, it is like normal 3 months, 6 months. So we will never know like what can come, what will be like unexpected element will be there. So always keep something for the contingency. So maybe then we can avoid this pain points like of not having the enough funds for executing the project.
This also affects the regular cash flow, if is what I've understood.
Yeah, then you have to divert the funds from your regular operations to meet your commitment over here. Otherwise, what will happen? You may have penalty clause with the customer if you are not able to execute in time, or it will be a loss of reputation for us if the project is getting delayed. So there will be challenges.
Challenges, and that's also ultimately. I mean, what I have also learned is in project-based businesses, if cash flows are not managed well and the customers are not being delivered on time, then very clearly we will also find that you're not making profits at the bottom of the pyramid. So that's a very, very important point, and hence your cash flows have to be very critically planned if you are in a project business. Genji, you take care at SIL. You started to take care of audits. Okay, you're looking at process audit, system audit. Why should a company go for an audit of any size? वो 5 करोड़ की है, वो 500 करोड़ की है, क्यों audit करना चाहिए? Basic fundamental क्या है उसका?
Yeah. Sorry. The question asked is really most crucial. Many times practically क्या होता है? कई बार ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे कंपनी के बैलेंस शीट में प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में प्रॉफिट है, लेकिन बैंक में पैसा नहीं दिख रहा है. So this kind, I'm giving some examples. So फंडामेंटली कई बार ये बाइफर्केशन दिमाग में आता नहीं है कि प्रॉफिट एंड कैश आर टोटली टू डिफरेंट थिंग. द बैंक बैलेंस और कैश बैलेंस एंड द प्रॉफिट विच कंपनी जनरेटिंग, तो प्रॉफिट तो बहुत बड़ा दिखता है लेकिन पैसा नहीं होता है. सो आई एम द पॉइंट्स व्हाट आई एम trying to stress is why audits are important. So for that the basic reason ये कई बार differentiation रहता नहीं है. दूसरा है कई बार many times people feel that कि भाई I am from the purchase department, I am from the sales department, I am from operations department, I have nothing to do with the financial figures. So long the activities do impact bottom line, so long the activity of every person, he may be a purchase or maybe a sales or operation, so उनके activity जहाँ तक company के bottom line पे profitability पे impact करते, everyone is a finance person, he must not be an accounts person, but he is a finance person. So ये चीज भी कई बार नजरअंदाज हो जाती है. तो by doing audits we come to know these are the things. Many a times ऐसा समझ में आता है कि कंपनी इज रनिंग, टर्नओवर हो रहा है, चीजें चल रही है, एक्सपेंसेस हो रहे हैं, लेकिन ये पता नहीं लगता है कि वेदर द इनकम्स विच आर गेटिंग जनरेटेड आर दे मैचिंग विद द कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. व्हाट कंपनी इज इंकरिंग द कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल, वो इनकम आ रहा है. सेकेंडली व्हाट इज द पीरियड ऑफ इनकम, अगर वो जिस पीरियड में एवरी लायबिलिटी हैज गॉट इट्स कॉस्ट, तो वो कॉस्ट को पैरेलली मैप करने के लिए इनकम जनरेट हो रहा है क्या, और उस इनकम जनरेशन का पीरियड क्या है. आज मैंने बहुत करोड़ों का सेल किया लेकिन अगर पैसा ही नहीं आ रहा है तो वो मैप नहीं होगा. सो दैट मीन्स स्पीड ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो वो कई बार छूट जाती है. सो बाय डूइंग ऑडिट्स वी कंपनीज कैन कम टू नो कि हाउ द थिंग्स आर गोइंग. सेकेंडली बाय डूइंग ऑडिट्स वी कम टू नो हमारे पास एसेट्स बहुत है. हर डिपार्टमेंट में हर अलग अलग तरह का एसेट होता है. मेजरली एसेट ह्यूमन कैपिटल इज अ मेजर एसेट. सो द बेसिक क्वेश्चन गेट्स डाइवर्टेड और उसके ऊपर नजरअंदाज हो जाता है कि क्या मेरे पास जितने एसेट्स है, वेदर माई ईच एंड एवरी एसेट इज परफॉर्मिंग और नॉट. अगर एक छोटा सा बात को अगर हम गौर किया जाए तो बहुत सा इंप्रूवमेंट वहां से निकल के आ सकता है. सो दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. एंड कई बार ये होता है कि ऑडिट इसलिए जरूरी है कि हम लोग जैसे बजटिंग करते हैं, ये एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, कंपनी चलते हैं, थिंग्स आर ऑपरेशंस आर गोइंग ऑन, थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग, बट मेनी टाइम्स देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन मार्क कि वेदर थिंग्स आर गोइंग राइट और रॉन्ग. सो एक बेसिक ऑडिट से चीज ये निकल के आती है कि व्हाट आर द लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और accordingly the entire short term goals have to be framed in alignment with the long term goals, and accordingly the different expenses, budgets and everything has to be aligned, so that the conduct of audit will always give the better control on all these expenses which are planned, and whether the comparison of budgeted versus actual. I worked in company like Raymond, so I remember every month we used to do not only budget, but every month we used to compare the actuals with the budget, and even there is a difference of 50 rupees, we were supposed to explain and give justification for that. So that is the thing. This budget exercise will take us all our companies to that level, and for that the conduct of audit of different processes, the activities of the management audit as well as the internal audits, these are most crucial thing, I believe.
Thank you. So if you have a pen and paper, I'll also make a note of these 4 control mechanics that you can keep with yourself. Okay. When we say control mechanics, as entrepreneurs, most of us are in future. We at least what we want to be in future. Okay. Whether we are allowed to be in future because of the habits that we have of today is a different story. Okay. But we want to be in future. So the control mechanics is, the first is your AOP, your annual planning, your operating plan. Your annual operating plan becomes absolutely crucial. It needs to start in the month of November end and December. Is that okay? It needs to start at the end of November and end by December, maximum by Jan mid tak. AOP planning ho jani chahiye. This is a control mechanics. How many of you would want to have a control over business? Please raise your hand quickly. So so these are, as I am saying, this is no Guru Ghantal Gyan. This is a bloody management practice, and if you don't adopt it, then you will run the business Ram Bharose Hindu Hotel types. Okay, so it's very clear. Your AOPs have to be clear by the end of December, maximum by the 15th of Jan, you have your AOP in place. AOP का मतलब क्या है? Annual Operating Plan. अगले 365 दिन मैं कौन सी चीजें करूंगा, पीपल में क्या करूंगा, प्रोसेस में क्या करूंगा, सिस्टम में क्या करूंगा, ऑटोमेशन में क्या करूंगा, हायरिंग में क्या करूंगा, मार्केट में क्या करूंगा, उसका नंबर नहीं आया, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तब तक. उस एओपी को लेके दूसरा कंट्रोल मैकेनिज्म होता है, दैट्स कॉल्ड बजट. सो आई एम जस्ट रिवैम्पिंग एंड just ramping up everything here. The second is called my budget. The third mechanics is called audit. Your budget should be ready from 15th of Jan till end of February. Maybe 45 days is a good time to build your budget. We are not even 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores. 45 days is a good time that we can lavishly build our budget. I mean, take enough time to build our budget. So by Feb end, my budget should be in my hand. There's one reason why we start Aarmabh in the month of January, right? I don't know how many of you have attended the pre-Aarmabh sessions. There's a reason, so that we can help you in planning as well, right? It's not about only Excel sheet bharna. So your third mechanics is your audits. These audits need to begin by the end of March or the second week of February, second week of April. Now, why? Assuming that all of us have gone to a war, the war has ended on 31st of March. Okay, people tend to be a little loose. Do you agree? April May? People tend to be a little loose. Okay, and at that point in time, they want to give all the information. Psychologically, और ये थक चुके होते हैं. So they give you all the information. आराम से relax में बैठे लोग, आराम से information आ रही है. So audits कौन सी चीजों का होना चाहिए ये लिख लो पहले. You should have your time and motion audit. Your time and motion audit. टाइम एंड मोशन ऑडिट क्यों जरूरी है? कैश क्रिएशन से लेके कैश कलेक्शन तक क्या टाइम में होना चाहिए वर्सेस क्या टाइम में हो रहा है, तो गैप समझ में आए. दूसरा ऑडिट क्या होना चाहिए? माय पीपल कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑडिट. मैं जिधर पहुंचना चाहता हूं वर्सेस मेरे लोग जहां पे हैं, फिर एक गैप निकल के आएगा. ओके. तीसरा होना चाहिए माय कैश ऑडिट, जो जनरल ऑडिट्स हम कहते हैं, पैसे का ऑडिट करके लो. चौथा होता है यस पीपल कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑडिट. टाइम एंड मोशन फ्रॉम द टाइम माई सस्पेक्ट, द डे आई मीट माई सस्पेक्ट, टू द डे आई कलेक्ट हिज मनी. वो पूरी कस्टमर वैल्यू चेन का ऑडिट. पीपल कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑडिट, फाइनेंस ऑडिट. सो प्रोसेस ऑडिट हो गया, पीपल कॉम्पिटेंसी हो गया, फाइनेंस हो गया, और चौथा मेरा मार्केट ऑडिट. अब मार्केट ऑडिट में क्या होता है बताता हूं. यू कैन बेस्ड ऑन द करंट स्पेंडिंग कैपेसिटी दैट यू हैव, यू कैन ईदर गो फॉर अ मार्केट सर्च ऑफ वेयर इज द इंडस्ट्री गोइंग. एक मार्केट सर्च 3 साल में एक बार कर लोगे, सही है, बाहर का पर्सपेक्टिव समझ में आता है. We did I think Mohan sir is going to be here. His kids are going to be there. We did a cooling tower ka market search for his company. Okay, and suddenly Middle East और अफ्रीका खुल गया, क्योंकि एग्जैक्टली किधर पहुंचना है पता चला. सो जितने इन्वेस्टमेंट अपन करते हैं एक एग्जीबिशन में, उससे आधी इन्वेस्टमेंट में तो कहां पहुंचना है पता चल जाएगा मार्केट सर्च में. Is that okay? राइट? या एग्जीबिशन कहां करना है ये भी पता चल जाएगा, मार्केट कहां करना है ये पता चल जाएगा, कॉम्पिटेंसी किधर बढ़ानी है ये पता चल जाएगा, उस अफ्रीका में लोग लगाने या सिर्फ पार्टनर से काम कराना है ये पता चल जाएगा. अ लॉट ऑफ दिस कैन कम आउट विथ योर मार्केट सर्च. थ्राइस इन 1 year इज अ गुड थिंग. अगेन अ कंट्रोल मैकेनिक्स. ओके. देन इज योर कॉम्पनसेशन बेंचमार्किंग. This is the fourth kind of audit that you should always do. Your compensation, which is industry compensation benchmarking. इसका मतलब क्या है? ये लगभग मोटा मोटा आपकी कंपनियां जितनी है, it would come down in 3.5 lakh rupees. आपका वो compensation benefit का एनालिसिस हो जाएगा. ये भी ऑडिट आप 3 साल में एक बार कर लो. प्रोसेस ऑडिट हर साल करो, पीपल कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑडिट हर बार करो, फाइनेंस ऑडिट हर साल करो. ये 3 हर साल करने, ये 2 3 साल में एक बार करने. Is that okay? Yes. No, I'll tell you where to use this data. अब आपके पास डेटा आ गया है. Say assuming I've done my finance audit, I've done my people audit, I've done all of that. The audit implementation is not for that financial year. The audit implementation is for your next financial year. Because you've already built your AOP. थोड़ा सा operative change करना है, कर लो. Realize you will only run the show well if you are sitting on the wave, not in the wave. Is that okay? So cycle को जब तक proactive नहीं बनाएंगे, तब तक wave ride नहीं कर पाएंगे. So whatever audits you do, उसमें से जितनी ऑपरेटिव चीजें आपको इंप्रूवमेंट करनी है, अलाइंड है आपके एओपी के साथ, वो तो कर लो. पर जो लॉन्ग टर्म चेंजेस करनी है, उसको सारा फिफ्थ क्वार्टर, विच इज नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर, नेक्स्ट ईयर फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में डाल देना. इज दैट ओके? डोंट ट्राई टू इमीडिएटली इंप्लीमेंट इट, देन यू विल क्रिएट अ केओस. जिस दिन भी ये ख्याल आता है कि सारे घर के एक दिन में बदल दूंगा, the nonsense will start happening. Don't get into that zone. Do the audits, strategically place those pointers in next quarter, operatively look at what is mapping right now for your AOP and execute them. Is that okay? Yeah? So, understand the entire process that we're talking about. Prakash bhai, last question to you as we move forward. When businesses look at their cash flows, okay, what are the key ingredients that they should always focus on? I think the question should go to both of you. But to begin with, quickly, we have less time, 1 minute, one formula, two formula, one ratio. इस ratio को मत टालिए, something like that.
One is okay to.
Is it on?
Hello.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's on.
So one thing is okay.
You are
like,
very soft.
Okay. So.
But in genuinely is very soft, huh? Yeah. Go ahead.
The most important thing is to keep a track. Keep monitoring. Okay, where are your funds? Whether it is coming in time or not coming in time, whatever credit terms you have set, ensure that the customers fulfill those terms. The team understands, they do the right kind of follow-up at time, so we get the realization in time. Otherwise, what will happen? Okay, sales people will say, sir, uska business aa raha hai, 10 din aur de do. But we should be strict in our approach. Now also we are experiencing with one client. Okay, what is happening in their case? Like the customer is taking 2-3 months to approve the invoice, and on top of that, they will take another 60 days credit.
Correct.
So what we try to explain to them, okay, you need to talk to the customer. You need to emphasize. अगर आप बोलोगे ही नहीं तो कोई सुनने वाला नहीं है. So consistent monitoring and pursuing with the customers is very important.
So I'll give you an example, okay? Well, I know the company that he is talking about. The company was around 60 crores last year. Okay, we started working with them. Logistics company, we started working with them. The company is close to 120 or 30 right now is what they will close. Okay, but पुरानी आदतें सुधरी नहीं. पुरानी आदत क्या थी? आ जाएगा पैसा सर, पैसा अच्छे कस्टमर है, पैसा देते हमको. ये पुरानी आदत थी, है ना? We started focusing a lot on branding, internal competency development, blah 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 blah, and we have been pushing. But the system is not habituated to ask money. What is the problem? सेल्स वाले को मालूम नहीं है मेरे को पैसा कलेक्ट करना है. उसको लगता है मैंने ऑर्डर ला दी, बात खत्म, है ना? अकाउंट वाले 5 बैठे हुए हैं, उनको मालूम ही नहीं है मेरे को ईमेल के अलावा कॉल भी करना पड़ता है कस्टमर को. अच्छा, किसी बंदे ने 90 दिन बाद तुमको पैसे नहीं दिए तो उसको शर्माओ मत नोटिस भेजने के लिए. ऐसा कस्टमर किस काम का जो पैसा नहीं देता? I mean, isn't it? So all of this can be done assertively, but ये जो, you know, I just said na, mental model is very important because that strongly affects your structures in the company. So what point Prakash bhai said right now is very, very crucial. Please create an awareness to your entire company and everybody, including the security guard, that everybody is a finance officer. Everybody is responsible for money. Right? 2 things everybody in the company is responsible for. To keep the environment right, which is the emotions part of it, and the second is economics part of it. फिर आप परचेस में रहो, सेल्स में रहो, किसी में भी रहो, सबका काम है इमोशनली कंपनी को स्टेबल रखना. दूसरा, फाइनेंशियली कंपनी को स्टेबल रखना. How many of you agree? Yes or no? That is everybody's job. Unfortunately, that is only kept till the owner. मेरा humble request है आपको, ये बेशर्मों की तरह बताइए अपनी पूरी संस्था में that it is their job. Is that making sense? It is their job to make sure that the company is emotionally stable and financially stable. It is not your job. Your job is to envision it. Am I making sense? Give them the tools. If you want to write down, I have said this enough amount of times. Please write down on your book the 4 jobs that this team, because people who are, of course, on the employee side who are also sitting here, typically the organization is send you because they feel that you are intrapreneurs. क्या है शब्द क्या है? Intrapreneurs. Okay, intrapreneurs मतलब उनको पगार मिलती है पर काम धंधे वाले की तरह करते हैं. Is that okay? They take ownership, they feel for it, they will run for it, they will fight for it. Okay, they have a certain passion and a rigor in their work. So you are sitting in this room, very simple. But realize one thing, unless and until all of you behave in these 4 works, that is the only core job description that you have. Job number 1 is show them the direction. Job number 1 of a leader, I am considering entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs both, is to show the direction. Job number 2 is give them tools so that they can perform. ऐसा लैपटॉप मत दो, ऐसा कंप्यूटर मत दो जो एंटर मारने के बाद 5 मिनट बैठना पड़ता है. गिव देम टूल्स. नाही तू एआय बघून केला असशील. हाउ डज इट मॅटर टू यू एज लॉन्ग एज द जॉब इज गेटिंग डन? He knows how to use an AI. That is intelligence. Are you getting my point? You agree, right? नहीं तूने AI देख के क्या आएगा? तो how does it matter, यार? Right? So give them tools that are required. Third, engage with them. It is your job to engage with them so that the environment is motivated all the time. And fourth is regular questions. Ask regular questions. डेली किसको पूछोगे, वीकली किसको पूछोगे, मंथली किसको पूछोगे, ये अपने कैलेंडर में डाल देना, क्योंकि काम ही आपका सवाल पूछना है. 4 ही जॉब्स है. इजी. अगर सेकेंड लाइन डेवलप्ड है और ये 4 चीजें हैं और रेगुलर कंट्रोल मैकेनिक्स और गवर्नेंस मैकेनिक्स है, धंधा बढ़ने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता. अगर फिर भी नहीं हो रहा है, इसका मतलब बिजनेस मॉडलिंग में गलती है, प्रोडक्ट इनोवेशन नहीं हो रहा, स्ट्रैटेजिक गलतियां कहीं हो रही है, विजन सही नहीं है. बट अगर ऑपरेटिवली सही करना है तो ये 4 चीजें सही करनी है. इज इट ओके? यस, नो? कुछ ज्यादा सीरियस तो नहीं कर दिया मैंने सबको? ऑलराइट, सो जेंटलमैन, थैंक यू वेरी मच. सर, यू वांट टू से? गो अहेड, गो अहेड.
या वन फंडामेंटल बात इस सवाल पे कहना चाहूंगा कि किसी भी बिजनेस का प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी 2 तरह से बढ़ सकता है. एक तो improving the revenues, and secondly is at the same level of revenues controlling, optimizing the profit as well as cash position. The optimizing the cash position, optimizing the working capital cycle, the collection of debtors as well as the investment in inventory, getting the funds are getting blocked. The commonly challenges यही होते हैं कि कई बार इन्वेंट्री में बहुत ज़्यादा फंड उतना ज़रूरत होता भी नहीं है, बट वहाँ पर होता है फंड ब्लॉक हो जाते हैं, कलेक्शन टाइम पे आता नहीं है. सो इस पोजीशन को, कैश पोजीशन को इम्प्रूव करना है, तो उसके लिए बेसिकली कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन कहाँ पे, राइट फ्रॉम गेट टू एवरी कॉर्नर ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट की कॉस्ट में क्या कंट्रोल्स, क्या इम्प्रोवाइजेशंस किए जा सकते हैं, बट राइट फ्रॉम गेट टू एवरी कॉर्नर, हर कॉर्नर में देयर कैन बी अपॉर्चुनिटी हिडन विच कैन बी आइडेंटिफाइड, और वहां पर कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन किया जा सकता है. एंड दैट ओनली विल गिव दी बेटर कैश लिक्विडिटी एंड पोजीशंस. व्हाट आई फील.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All 3 of them, can we have a big round for them, please, so that we can. So you want to share something? All right.